Today, you're going to apply what you learned about the C3 standard under social awareness. Follow these directions and listen to the examples as I go along, and then complete your own. Slide 2 has the directions for the application of social awareness. Here's what you'll need to complete. You're going to pick a culture outside of your own. You'll type your choice on slide 3. My choice. The culture I chose to represent in this slideshow is, and you put it there. You're going to go out and find information out about that culture. Write down specific information concerning food, music, history, a fact about history, language, and customs of that culture. Find images that represent that information that you wrote about. Let's revisit. You're going to pick one culture outside of your own. You're going to complete the slides on food, music, history, language, and customs. You're going to write 1 to 2 sentences about what you learned on each slide. Then you're going to add an image to represent the information. Confused? Look at the example in the speaker notes below each slide. So if you see on slide 3, the example I have down here, the culture I chose to represent in the slideshow is the Japanese culture. So if I were doing this slideshow, that's what I would put up here. Slide 4 is about food. Go online and Google your culture's food. So I Googled Japanese food. Type what you learned about food of the culture you picked there. You can delete this information here once you're ready to type 1 to 2 sentences about what you learned. I put my example on the bottom. Japanese food is amazing. They make a variety of delicious dishes such as sushi, ramen, yakitori, sukiyaki, and various rice and noodle dishes. Then I would go out and find an image of Japanese food and replace it over this text box. You can also just delete this text box if you desire. Music. Type what you learned about the music of the culture you picked here. My example. There are many types of music in Japan. However, traditional music is called hogaku, which means home country music. History. Go out and find a fact. You can literally, in my case, I typed in Google Japan history facts. My example is Japan once had over 5,000 castles throughout the country. Only a few of those castles remain standing today. Then I would go out and find an image of a Japanese castle. Language. You'll type what you learned about the language there. Again, highlight and replace. While many people, this is my example, while many people in Japan are multilingual, 99% of the people in the country speak Japanese. There are 3 systems to this language called hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Again, this is just my example, not for you to repeat. You may use Japan if you'd like, just make sure you find different information to put on your slide. Then go out and find an image to represent something about speaking or language. You could even find a picture of the alphabet if you desire. Customs. I simply Googled customs in Japan and found out all kinds of them. Here's my example. There are many customs in Japanese culture that are different from my own. One that I found interesting was that the Japanese want you to make noise while eating, such as making the slurping sound when eating noodles. And then I would go out and probably find a picture of someone eating noodles right here. I could even find a GIF if I desire. Now again, you are not necessarily doing Japan unless you would desire to. You can use any culture that is outside your own. Pick a culture outside of your own and complete this 8-slideshow, and then turn it in to Google Classroom. Let your teacher know if you have any further questions.